8 years after Nancy Moyer disappeared, there's still no trace of the mother of two.
We call it a no-body homicide because we don't have a body.
No body, but plenty of sex toys have led to new theories.
So basically this new lifestyle of Nancy's could have led to her demise.
Correct, yes.
And unbelievably, frozen meat in her freezer.
There's a darn good possibility he met Nancy and sold her this meat.
Leads to a person of interest. When Nancy Moyer vanished from her Tenino, Washington home, detectives were left with very few clues to work with.
It's like she disappeared from the face of the earth.
Police were never able to find evidence for a murder or develop a suspect in the case, but a gruesome murder in her hometown led to a person of interest.
So this is one, deranged individual.
Oh, absolutely.
The tiny town of Tenino was stunned when a local man selling meat was caught riding around with the dead woman in the passenger seat of his delivery truck. Her body still warm.
This guy came up behind her, hit her in the back of the head with a hammer, dragged her down into the ditch, took a knife to her, tried cutting her head off when she was still alive, killed her, wrapped her up in a sleeping bag, put her in his pickup truck, and started driving down the road.
At first, Bernard Keith Howell denied killing 60-year-old Vonda Boone. He claimed he found her dead on a popular hiking trail and was going to dispose of her body to save her family from the burial costs.
I read too that he had, I don't know how to say this, basically had sex with the corpse.
Yeah, I think it was more of he used something to have sex with her.
Howell eventually confessed to killing the massage therapist and was sentenced to nearly 30 years in prison. He says he was high on meth at the time. Cops wondered if he could be tied to Nancy's mysterious disappearance.
I did interview him because of the close proximity to Nancy's place.
Not only did the door-to-door meat salesman live less than a mile from her house, there was another possible connection.
Well, in the inventory of Nancy's refrigerator, we found a package of that meat in the freezer, and it was the same company, everything.
So detectives showed photos of the confessed killer to Nancy's two daughters.
And one of the daughters, the older one, said she recognized him.
Detective Howler was eager to question Keith about the missing mother.
He just absolutely refused to cooperate in any way. No polygraph, wasn't going to give any statements, denied ever selling her meat, denied ever knowing her. Just, and all of that just kind of run the red flag up even more because I know he was there.
Nancy's family still suspects Howell could be involved.
I certainly haven't ruled him out myself based on the evidence.
Unfortunately, a frustrated Detective Elkins has not been able to bring charges or even re-question the admitted killer, who sits in prison.
I would like to at least talk to him and see if he'll talk to me, and if he does, obviously I want to interview him.
But frozen meat possibly purchased from a confessed killer wasn't the only thing in Nancy Moyer's home that piqued investigators' curiosity about what happened to her.
I opened that up, and I had to step back and blink twice.
Detective Howler was stunned by what he found inside a bag in the closet of the mild-mannered mother of two.
Yeah, there were sex toys in there, all kinds of them, gels.
Was Nancy living a wild life now that she was on her own?
That was the information that was shared with me by her sister.
Detectives learned that sex was, in fact, a big reason why Nancy left her husband.
She got married to William Younger. They had kids. So the way Sharon, her sister, had explained it was that Nancy expressed how she wanted to go out and do things that she hadn't done. She was out playing the field. She was out bar hopping. She was out drinking with friends, coworkers from work. When someone's doing that and they're not sharing that with a best friend or a sister, the victimology when it comes to that is very difficult to retrace those steps of who she was associating with, where she was going.
And there is more adding to the mystery. Cops discovered things that indicate Nancy Moyer may have been living in a secret world of sexual fantasy.
I found some other stuff in there that it kind of makes me think that she could have decided to take off and live a life that she's been fantasizing about.
As much as Nancy's family wants to believe she's still alive, it's not something that seems possible to them.
She would never leave her daughters. Her daughters were her world.
One thing everyone agrees on: someone out there knows what happened to Nancy Moyer, and her sister Sharon has this message for that person.
I would just ask them to remember that she was a mother and a daughter and a granddaughter and a sister and a friend. And she doesn't deserve to be forgotten. She deserves to be put to rest. And for her kids to be able to mourn her properly.
Detectives are hoping the person responsible for Nancy's disappearance has bragged to someone about what they've done, and now that person is ready to come forward and help solve this case. If you know anything, you can submit a tip anonymously at crimewatchdaily.com.